Hi everyone, it's Mark here again. I'm the founder of the Arts and Culture Network. We're a growing global community of over 150,000 now across 8 arts and culture focused LinkedIn groups. But this is the best part of the job for me. This is where I get to spend time with one of our full members and introduce them to you. So Jacquie, thank you so much for joining me for this today.
You're welcome.
So we're going to do a number of things. I'd really like to try and create your fantasy cultural year, which we'll do from the answers to 10 easy questions. And then if there's time, we'll play the this or that game to give everyone a chance to get to know you a little bit better. But before we do that, if you don't mind, could you give us the basics? Let us know where you're based and the work that you do and what gets you up in the morning, what your superpower might be, and where your passions lie.
I live in Incline Village, which is on the northeast shore of Lake Tahoe in America. My background is fashion.
It's Nevada. Are you
It
in?
is in Nevada, on the Nevada side. Yes. And my background is I'm actually a fashion designer in leather. That's my background. However, when a job moved me to Lake Tahoe and I started falling in love with the lake and wondering about some of the things around here, I ended up becoming the Geotourism Liaison for a National Geographic program on destination stewardship. I formed a nonprofit, and for the last 18 years, I've been designing programs and ways forward to actually accelerate the adoption of destination stewardship in the Tahoe watershed, which is like turning a very heavy barge. But I figure if you could do it in a world destination, you could do it anywhere. So seeds have been planted and some have grown. It's a very difficult process in the journey of that. I have a parallel path where I worked with a interesting man named Mick Dodge. We ended up having a TV show called The Legend of Mick Dodge, and it was about one's recognition of oneself in nature. And so this path was on a parallel to my Sustainable Tahoe, sustaintahoe.org, which is my nonprofit, which has developed the blueprint for destination stewardship for any destination and community. And I'm writing the book on it. But this path alerted me to how to play and train in the EarthGym. So now my mission has become to seed a millennial forest of consciousness that reintegrates consciously with nature so that we move forward as a species, building a world with the earth instead of from the earth. So that's really where I'm at right now. That's what wakes me up, gets me going. I'm using media, books, art, song, all kinds of ways to bring that forward.
That's fantastic work. So on behalf of everyone else who feels the same way as you do, thank you for the dedication that you've shown over that time because it's wonderful work that you're doing. And I think you're a frequent public speaker as well, aren't you?
I have done a TEDx talk that's out there and a couple of thought leader talks. Yes, I'm actually putting together a professional speaking resume thing right now to get some more speaking.
Yeah, well, it's great.
Absolutely. That's where I'm headed.
Well, that's fantastic. So I think the main one you did was rewild yourself in the EarthGym, and that was a couple of when was
No,
that?
it was just a year ago. It took a year to post it. It just posted, but it was October 23, and then it just posted in I think October this year, last year.
Well, it's on your LinkedIn page as a featured link. So wherever this interview appears, there'll be a profile about you and the work that you do and links to the talks that you've done and your website. So
yes, that does summarize where I'm at right now. That one does.
That's a perfect summary, which gives me some tips for what I might do with your fantasy cultural year. So are you ready for some fun? I have a magic wand and a time machine for this. Okay. So that will help. So there are no wrong answers. So I need to place you somewhere in the world. And I'm going to do that by asking you, what's your favorite building?
Oh, my favorite building. Well, I think I would have to say a Hobbit house, like out of Lord of the Rings. But if I have to pick a building, maybe in this time, I would go to anything Mitchell Joaquin has designed on Grow Your Own Home. He is an incredible architect. He should be part of this network. He's one of my most impressive people that I can imagine. And he has done a TED Talk on Grow Your Own Home. It's a 2000 technique using FICA where you can grow the structure. He said,
How do
why
you
grow?
spell his surname? How are you spelling?
Joachim. His company is Terraform One. And he is the future of how we grow these homes and then they sequester carbon. So the more you grow, the more homes you build, the more carbon we sequester.
Right. So is
So
this him? Is this him?
Mitchell Joaquin, yes, yes. See the home right over there? See that home? There you
This one.
go. Grow your own
Wow.
home. There's the future. And see all those homes down there. His TEDx talk on Grow Your Own Home is fascinating. I
Oh,
saw him in the
that's a
Colbert.
must.
It was on Colbert. He had these long dregs down to his waist. It's fascinating. So any building he would design, I would love to be at.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put you in this one.
Yeah, put me in that one. I'll take that one.
Okay. Now, for the purposes of this, we're going to assume that you're sitting, there's a kind of sort of social area there, and there's a pop-up, sustainable pop-up bar. Okay. And you're sitting in the sunshine outside your home. You'll grow your own home. And there is a book on the table next to you that you've just been enjoying. Now, that book could be your favorite book. It could be a book that's been with you all your life or changed your life.
Yeah, Return to the Brain of Eden by Tony Wright, English. Return
Excellent.
to the Brain of Eden goes back to a time when the human species consciousness was actually integrated with the earth, with the rainforest. So you know how they talk about Neanderthal and Homo sapiens and they say there was crossover? Well, the
Mm-hmm.
Neanderthal were more like how we see animals. They just know what to eat, what not to eat, right? They have those instincts, that knowing. And the human species has to be told, no, don't, do, right? Because of the growth of the brain and how things happened. If you read The Alphabet versus the Goddess. So Tony went way back. There was a point where our consciousness was so integrated. It's actually a book about sex and the hormones, how it runs the brain, and the right and the left brain were working together, not where the right brain was the left brain's bitch. No, The Return to the Brain of Eden is a key book. It has been life-changing. It inspired my sci-fi story. I wrote a story 200 years in the future where we reintegrate our consciousness with the earth. And so the powers, the forces of the earth, which are also in us, are activated.
That
So
sounds
this is a life-changing book for me. And
right.
also the key to immortality, the guy that went back, way back to Jesus' time with the women that were making the Eucharist, the sacred elixir of transcendence, before they were co-opted by. So yeah.
There we go. Fantastic. Okay, that's one for my reading list. Now, next to the book is a drink, and you can have whatever you like. It's 6 p.m., sunny. What would I find you
It
enjoy?
would probably be, I guess, a vegetable or fruit drink from whatever's growing in the area, something local so I can get a sense of place, the flavors of the 8 worlds. Every destination has 8 worlds. This is why people travel. The land, the water, the air, the plants, the wildlife. That is the community. It creates the culture and the heritage. These are the things that come out in the flavor of the food.
Fantastic. Now, you've had an approach from a foundation in the States who have got wind of the work that you've been doing, the pioneering work that you've been doing on destination stewardship, and its related respect for the environment and the planet. And they've asked if they could hire you for a year, okay, at a very attractive salary.
Oh, good.
No expenses spared, first class all the way, if you wish. They'd like you to travel the world and create a league table of different countries' capabilities and approaches and respect for destination stewardship. Okay, so you get to interview people who do your kind of committed work in all areas all over the world. There is a TED Talk in it. There is a book deal in it. There's a TV show in it. And there is a global university lecture tour when you get home. Okay, friends and family can come and visit when you wish. All you have to do is to decide in which country will you start this study.
Yeah, so we will start at the Earth Lodge at Sabi Sabi in South Africa. It's located in Kruger National Park, and it's carved into the ground. The lodge merges with the landscape seamlessly with minimal environmental impact, and it uses sustainable materials. It's designed for natural climate control, focuses on conservation of African wildlife and ecosystems.
There it is.
We start there, but then we want to move through the world. In Chile, they have the hulu hulu. I was looking these up to see, but the one that blew me away is the Svart in SVART in Norway. Check this out. This is going to be so we start in South Africa. Always good to start in Africa because I love Ethiopian food too. So, but then we want to move. It goes Australia, Maldives, Sweden has a tree hotel, but look at the hotel Svart. Look at this. See what I mean? So these are the pinnacles of showing sustainable lodging that actually.
And this is real. This is not AI.
This is real. This is not AI. It hasn't completed. You can't book lodging here, but it is in construction. And it was a father and his three sons that went to this place. They saw the glaciers melting and they realized people need to see what we are doing to our climate. And we need to show models of how we can build a world with the earth, not from the earth. See, we identify with the world. So our whole identity, everything we do is tied to the world. And the world is about, well, I don't have to tell you, but the earth is who we are. And if we recognize we're the earth that built the world, then we can build a different world. This is some clues of what that world would be like for a traveler.
That's fantastic. Now, I omitted to ask you a question before you took the trip. So you've gone to, where have we gone to? We've gone to Chile and we've gone to Norway and we've gone to
South Africa.
South Africa. Now, when you were on the plane, the steward brought you a fruit-based punch drink and they passed you a note from the Family Foundation who are funding your trip. They wanted to do a little experiment on you as well. So they have asked you to limit your musical listening during the course of the full 12 months to one very specific genre or type of music. If you had to do that, what would you choose, Jacquie?
Probably, if I had to pick, well, I mean, one of my favorite songs is Testify by Rage Against the Machine, hands down. I mean, that's my core.
Right.
But, for a year, no, that would not help. I come in hot already. So I would say African music. I love African music. I used to be a professional belly dancer, so I love African, Middle East, sensual drum. And so something in that vibe, maybe fusion would be my favorite, where African is,
That's fantastic. African.
I mean, I do love EDM. I like, Fat Boy, and I like Claptone a lot. So maybe mixed in with African, but I do love African. I love Buju Bayu, whatever their name is.
Excellent. So, yeah. Now, this is where the magic wand and the time machine come in. So I can wave a magic wand and put us in any city. And we're going to go to the city of your choice for a dance performance. Okay. And it doesn't have to be.
Okay, now I get it. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to say Orkney Island, the Stennis Stones, and the pagan dance around the stones that are possibly time travel. Although we're time traveling right now, right? Because you're in a different time. We're traveling.
Yeah.
So I'm just very drawn to people that learned and listened and spoke with the earth and had sacred reciprocity with the earth. So I'd have to say the Stennis Stones. I missed them. I was just in England and Scotland, and we didn't have enough time to go all the way to Orkney. So
Oh, what a shame.
I don't regret it. I went to Findhorn instead, but they're kind of shut down right now. I wanted to see how that eco village was living, but
Mm,
I would go there, or maybe Stonehenge, and
okay,
where the pagan dances. That's what I want to see.
excellent. You
And
would
then
love,
maybe time travel past the Trump years if I could time.
yeah, there's a town on the south coast of England called Lewis, and they have a really deep pagan foundation to their community. They're also quite independent. They have their own currency. So a Lewis pound is worth £1.05.
Wow,
So
I would go there.
yeah, that's lovely. It's really good.
Earth-based, very earth-based.
Yes. Okay, now we're going to wave the magic wand and go out to dinner anywhere you like, any cuisine you like. What's your favorite national cuisine?
Ethiopian. Oh God. I have to say this probably isn't a funny joke, but in Oakland, when somebody first took me to an Ethiopian restaurant, I thought, wait a minute, because as a child in America, growing up in the Midwest, you have to eat all your food. There's starving kids in Ethiopia, and I thought, God, Ethiopia must be this place. And I'm sitting down at this food, I go, they have amazing food. The food it's my favorite food, Ethiopian food. The way they put the vegetables in that bread and you eat with your hands.
Wow, that sounds great. Now we're going to space hop again to another city of your choice for a sporting event.
Wait a minute, don't I get two guests for lunch?
No,
Yes.
we haven't got there yet.
Okay, all right, a sporting event. Sporting event.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's going to be hard. I mean, not really. I don't care for sports because I don't like. I guess competition makes you stronger. Okay, I will admit that I am a Warriors fan before they broke up the team. Warriors is basketball in Oakland here, and the Splash Brothers, but they broke it up. I don't know. I mean, and then here's the irony too. Until I watched Ted Lasso, which I told you I was blown away when I went to England and I ended up being on the set, where they filmed it. I have to say, I got soccer was kind of interesting. Football, the original football
Yeah.
has running. Sport, dance. Is dance a sport?
Well, we had breakdancing in the Olympics, didn't we?
There we go. I'll have to pick dance as my favorite. I love dance. That is the most important movement ever. So if I can pick that as a sport, dance.
You can have that. We'll let you have that.
I
Now,
also like ping pong.
we're now going to hop to another city, and you can choose which. But this city has a new digitally enhanced art gallery in it, which allows you to put on some virtual reality glasses and step into the work of a famous artist.
Da
So
Vinci.
Da Vinci, okay. And which city would we be in to do that? We'd
Well, I
probably
guess
have to be in
Rome.
Rome or Venice. Yeah.
Venice. I
Okay.
never got to see Venice. Sounds interesting, a city in water. I heard they're very hostile to visitors now because I don't blame them. But
Don't go in the summer.
no,
So
I would not go. It would probably be the catacombs under the Vatican. Yeah, let's go into
mm,
those archives. Like the key to immortality, the guy that wrote that book spent 20 years researching the Eucharist, trying to get the recipe for the original Eucharist that the women used to spike
mm,
wine that put people in transcendent, in unified field, expanded consciousness before it was co-opt, right? And he found the recipe and all the witch burning all under in the catacombs under the Vatican.
okay.
He
That's
finally got into the vault. Yeah, let's go
fantastic.
there. Let's go
Right.
there and break open the seed of greed.
Excellent. Now I'm flying out to meet you, and we're going to spend a week in London. Okay.
I did like London.
Yeah. And we're going to do something cultural every evening together, and you get to choose. On Monday, we're going to a pop or rock concert. On Tuesday, we're going to a theatre play. On Wednesday, we're going to a musical. On Thursday, I'm taking you to the opera. And on Friday, we're going to the movies. Okay. Now you can choose. Now, these don't have to be, don't forget, we have a magic wand and a time machine. So
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
it could be a historic concert, rock concert. What would you like to see in London? Which artists?
Well, I mean, if I'm in London, I'd have to say the Rolling Stones.
Okay, yeah,
I
we'll
mean,
go back to the Hyde Park concert of the Rolling Stones. What about a theatre play on Tuesday?
you know, the theater I really enjoyed, aside from dance theater, was liquid theater. I didn't know if they had it there. They had it in Santa Barbara. Liquid theater was this immersive, interactive theater. I used to be in theater myself. I used to be in plays in Santa Barbara. So I really like theater a lot. But for a favorite play, I really liked liquid theater. I like interactive plays. I think there were some famous plays where they did like weddings, people were part of a wedding or something would be that would be interactive. I did see Mousetrap when I was there, and I thought that was very good. I
Mm,
liked the theater. I saw it when just a few months ago. I
fantastic.
was just in England.
Yeah,
So I'm not
we
sure.
can have liquid theatre. I think that would be
Liquid theater is
liquid theatre.
amazing. They
Yeah.
bring you, it's very immersive and sensual and sensation oriented. It's very crazy.
I
Or
went to
you're in
see,
the woods,
yeah. So,
but of
or
course
which
we're in the
one?
city. The theater in the woods, we do something out here in Tahoe. It's called Trails and Vista. And we plant theater, music, and art in the woods, in the forest. And then we take groups by, and I was in it one time too, and they come from behind the boulders, and you have
Oh,
this little
wow.
serenade of like 5 minutes of this like magical, music or dance or theater, poetry in the forest. And then they quietly dip back into the forest and you walk along and you go to the next one. It's
That
great.
sounds great. We had two, one of the favorite things I did when I was in New York in the 80s was I went to see Tony and Tina's wedding.
Oh, okay, yeah, like that.
Yeah, which was followed by Bernie's bar mitzvah. And the
Oh, that
audience,
would be fun. Okay, that would be fun.
yeah, the audience become the guests at a New York Italian wedding.
That's the one I heard of. I
Yeah,
would do something like that. I like
yeah.
that.
Okay, we'll do that. Now, what about a West End or Broadway musical?
I did like Fiddler on the Roof when I saw that. I did, and I also liked West Side Story, I guess.
Well, we have a time machine, so we could go to the opening night of Fiddler on the Roof with Topol in the
That'd be cool.
yeah, or we could see the first night of West Side Story sitting next to Leonard Bernstein. There we go. That would be cool. Are you an opera fan?
Probably not, even though my great grandmother was a famous opera singer.
Wow.
I have been to a few operas. I don't know much about it. I don't think I could pick an opera, but
Oh,
I'd be open. I'd be open.
okay. So I think I think you'd enjoy The Rite of Spring as a
Sounds good.
um, ballet, but also
Oh, it's a ballet, yeah.
Tosca. Puccini's Tosca is one of my favorites.
Yeah,
So
if there's dance in it, better. Yeah.
yeah, film night. What are we watching? What I'd love you to think of is a film that you love that I probably haven't seen.
We should know a good film that, I mean, there's a ton of them. I mean,
Mm.
the first one that pops in my mind is My Cousin Vinny. It's just so funny, but that's not the one.
Yeah,
Uh, I don't know. I just saw that Antisocial Network the other night. That's pretty potent,
yeah.
but there's got to be something better than that. I'm blanking on that, but I know
Oh,
it would be a powerful film that's life changing that I just blanking on. I'll come back to it.
okay, we'll come back to that one. So now is your hero lunch. Okay, this is where you get to invite one person.
Wait, one? Oh,
Yeah, there might be a twist. Don't worry. You can invite anyone, living or not, famous
yeah,
or otherwise,
right.
for a leisurely 2-hour lunch. Who would you choose?
Well, it's got to be a package here because I would choose Jesus to see if he would show up and then but the thing is because it's only lunch, I would really like to have Malcolm X there too because they are so similar and I don't think people see that they both inspired community through strong guiding principles. They both offered direct pathways to self-empowerment. They were both disruptive influences on the culture and the society norms. This is really important to me. They were both associated with violence, even though they never advocated for violence. because of their inspiration to people to be more self-empowered, the power structure didn't like that. They were both rejected oppressive naming structures. Jesus and Malcolm neither had a last name, X. He stands for rejecting the surname of slavery. They were both assassinated by threatened power structures, and they both have a legacy, a liberation and transformation. This is really important.
That's a great lunch. What a lunch. Wow. Now, we're nearly there. You've put the TV show together, you've recorded everything you need for the TED Talk, and the lecture tour, the book deals on the way. Everybody's very happy. You've created the league table of destination stewardship, the global league table of that. And you're on to start this process, and the restriction to listening to certain types of music has been lifted. What's the first song you'd want to listen to on the plane that wasn't your chosen genre?
A song that wasn't my chosen genre? Rage Against the Machine, Testify.
There we go. I'm gonna have
I don't know. It's just such a revealing. The song is just emblematic of where art and music, see what is important here is the power of art, music, culture to disrupt. And this goes back to when I was in high school, I won the art of the school award, and I was able to go compete for the Bank of America scholarship. This was in 1969. It was $5,000, and I was at a table, and the Bank of America was there. And here was the question on the table. If art is disruptive to the status quo, should artists persevere or back down? And I said, oh, hell yeah. And I was kicked out.
Oh,
see?
The establishment again.
No. They wanted the art to be pretty colors that blended in. And if art isn't like Banksy or, if it's not disrupting, we can't evolve as a species because our best thinking got us here. And we think 99% of the same thoughts every day. In order to move forward, we have to look at something that Mitchell Joachim designed, to listen to the words of Testify and realize, that the Ku Klux Klan and the police are sometimes the same people. They're the oppressing, the oppressive aspect of religion, which is greed at the core, is not helping the species move forward. We are identifying with the world and forgetting that we are the earth. And so art and music has a directive to go right at the core. It is the Eucharist for transformation. And to abduct that responsibility as an artist, I'm sorry, no.
Well, that's a perfect idea to finish with. So Jacquie Chandler, thank you so much for winning me for this. This has been
disrupting your mind.
Well, no, it's been fascinating. So wherever this appears, there'll be links to you and the work that you do. And it's been a real eye-opener for which I'm never going to forget that hotel. I'm going to listen to Testify. I'm going to grab that book. I'm going to get the book. This whole process for me, I've done over 200 interviews like this now, and it's an education for me. It's wonderful. I love it. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, another, not the book, but a video to watch is Alphabet versus the Goddess. Dr. Leonard Schlein, he goes back 5,000 years. He did a tour of Europe to all the cathedrals, and the common denominator was what used to be the goddess, but then that got removed, and he goes, what happened to the goddess? And he went back 5,000 years, and you find out what happened. But the book is really hard to read because of how much atrocity happened to women. But the video is wonderful. And what was the key? When men started typing and we went back to image, both sides of the brain, that women started having rights again. Men type. Look at the video.
I will.
The brain surgeon.
Jacquie, next time we're going to do that. When we do an update in 6 months or so, we'll do this or that game.
And I'll come up with that movie. I've seen.
Yeah, we can. If you think of it, we can pop it in the copy on your profile.
Could be Black Panther. I don't know. All right. I
Jack,
like that.
don't rush off, but for the time being, thank you so much for being one of our full members. You won't know this, but little bits of the money that you send every month go to help others in greater need. So
Grateful,
that's
grateful.
great. Thank you so much for being one of our full members, and thank you so much for recording this interview today. It's been great fun. Thank you.